Do not move. A voice is calling your name from the trees. You are alone, but you are not alone. This is what we found in the Whispering Woods. The night was dark. The moon was a sliver of bone in the sky. The road to the forest was long and empty. We drove for hours. The trees stood close together on either side. They seemed to watch our car pass. Their branches were like long, thin fingers reaching for us. The air grew cold. It felt heavy on our skin. We knew we were getting close. This place has a reputation. It is a place of stories. It is a place of fear. Our team is small. There are 4 of us. We came to these woods for one reason. We came to listen. We came to record the silence. We believe something hides in that silence. We are paranormal investigators. We carry special equipment. We have cameras that see in the dark. We have recorders that hear what the human ear cannot. We have lights that pulse and measure the air. We wore heavy coats against the chill. We spoke in low voices. We did not want to disturb the quiet. The quiet itself felt different. It was a listening silence. Our goal was simple. It was also profound. We wanted to find proof of the unknown. We wanted to hear the whispers that give this forest its name. We were searching for a sound that science could not explain. The local people have their own stories. They speak of shadows that move between the trees. They speak of voices that call out to lost hikers. We set up our base camp in a small clearing. The locals call this place the Whisper Circle. It is the heart of the woods. The first few hours passed with an unnerving calm. The only sounds were the ones we expected. Our cameras recorded the empty, moonlit clearing. Our sensitive audio recorders collected the ambient sounds of the night. Sarah led our group. She is our most experienced member. She is brave. She is calm. She knows the equipment better than anyone. Then, the character of the night began to change. A soft, strange sound emerged from the deep woods to our left. It was not the wind rustling the leaves. It was not the cry of a nocturnal animal. It was like a voice, carried on the very fabric of the wind itself. The sound moved slowly, deliberately from left to right, passing directly in front of our position. It would fade, and then it would return, and each time it seemed a little bit closer. We all stopped moving. We stood frozen, listening. It seemed to speak in words, but in a language we could not recognize or understand. When we analyzed the audio later, the waveform was clear. The sound was undeniably there. We would later classify it as a Class A electronic voice phenomenon, or EVP. In it, a single distinct voice speaks one word. It sounds like leave. The voice is soft, but it is cold. It is filled with a command that made the hair on our arms stand up. It did not belong to any of us. We checked the tapes again and again. The clip was clean. Yeah. The very atmosphere of the forest seemed to react to that single word. One of our static night vision cameras began to flicker. For a moment, the image lost its color. It turned grainy black and white. In that split second, the camera captured a shape moving with impossible speed across the edge of the frame. It looked like a shadow, but wrong, edges that bent and folded in on themselves. Sarah, who'd been calm, showed true fear. Close up, recorder waveform spike.
I felt something, just before that word. I felt a pull on my arm. Something held me, but there was nothing there.
A few minutes later, Sarah walked a few steps toward the center of the clearing alone. Then she screamed, raw and sharp.
Something touched me. It grabbed the back of my coat. It said my name, Sarah.
We rushed Sarah back to our small circle of equipment. We immediately checked the footage from the camera that was pointed in her direction. We reviewed the audio from the microphone she was wearing. The evidence was startling. We isolated the sound. We heard it. It was a voice, low and distorted, and it was not human. The pitch bent and twisted in ways that a human voice cannot. We retreated to the relative safety of our vehicle, but the chill we felt was not from the cold outside. We played the EVP of the word leave again and again. Even by the road, we felt watched. As the first light of dawn broke through the trees, we left the Whispering Woods. Back in the controlled environment of our lab, We studied the files with meticulous care. We cleaned the audio, removed wind and insects, tested against libraries of animal calls. We found no logical explanation. Sarah's story was not just a story. Her fear was real because the event was real. We cannot tell you what this force is. For now, the woods keep their secrets. The evidence is here. The story is real. And so we leave you with the same question we now ask ourselves every single day. What would you do if the forest called your name?